is Business Rockstars, where we introduce you to the rock stars of the business world, so you can become a rock star too.
I'm Ken Rutkowski, and you are listening to Business Rockstars. Every day we bring you rock stars from around the world, and we learn from them what it takes to start, grow, and fund a business. Call it your passion, call it whatever you want, but it's all around making you happy, because happiness is the key, isn't it? You're not alone, and we'll show you're not alone by all the stories you hear from the people that have done it. They have done whatever they can to turn their passion into something real. Our website is businessrockstars.com. I love this story because I'm one of these type of guys, periodically, I think I'm okay right now, Bill Schultz, who's the CEO and founder of
AlignMed.
AlignMed, which the name itself sounds like it could be almost everything.
Right.
Right? But it's all around good posture.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so you're a former 3M guy.
Yep.
Now, what'd you do at 3M?
Oddly enough, I'm from Minnesota.
Okay.
And
there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. It's a great state. It is.
Yeah, it is. And I drove to California to seek my fame and fortune, Southern California. I knew one person, my great aunt, who was 86 years old and lived in Orange County. That was my extent of Orange County knowledge. And I drove in the afternoon, pulled the newspaper, and 3M was hiring.
Oh, so you didn't have a gig, but you came to California to work for a Minnesota company.
No, I came to California to go to theater arts school.
But you understand what I'm saying, right? You came
Yeah.
to California, you eventually worked for a company that's based in Minnesota.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of oddity in it.
There is a lot of oddity. And you were doing equipment, right? You were working with 3M.
3M had just started an orthopedic division, and they were hiring. And the first job available was shipping. So I went to interview that day and went to work on the night shift that night, the day I pulled into town.
That's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
It is. Did you love your job or did you hate it?
I just did it.
You just did it?
I did it because I knew I needed to do it.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's how my first marriage was. So I get it. So you went through the whole process, right? Mm-hmm. You went through it. You knew it was almost numbing.
Yes.
So where did this whole concept of alignment come from?
The concept came from my own problems with pain in my spine, my lower back. And my career eventually led me into development and distribution of sports medicine arthroscopy tools.
Okay.
And so I got to be real familiar in the development of orthopedic instrumentation and implants. And it gave me a great, incredible knowledge base and an incredible access to surgeons.
But Bill, I got to make sure I understand this. This is not your background.
No, my background was English.
Okay. You were an English major?
Yes.
Okay. So, and I love those type of stories where you see people that make a massive life pivot, which you did, because you found a passion, saying, man, there's a lot that's going on here that no one's really doing anything for.
Yeah.
Right?
Well put.
And what did you do? What came out of this?
Well, what came out of that, I started suffering my own pain about 10 years ago in my lower back. And the options for me were physical therapy, pharmacological, and surgery.
Okay, let's just make sure people understand. You mean drugs.
Drugs.
I like how you say, okay, you mean either surgery?
Yes.
Which there's only one way. You go one way. You can't make a U-turn on that one,
back.
Right? Drugs could be fun for a short period of time, right? Otherwise, it's kind of bad idea.
Yeah.
And how about chiropractors and you know going to the gym and stuff like that? Wasn't that an option also?
It's a short-term fix.
It is.
And,
okay.
and it's a short-term fix, and it really doesn't address how you got to be where you got to be in the first place.
Okay.
All things that I didn't know.
Understand.
I grew up in medicine, and you do everything based on how many research papers were delivered and how many times the procedure had been performed.
So you said, hey, there's a problem. I got a problem. And you started researching it for yourself to see how you could actually solve your situation?
Not that intelligent.
No?
Okay. But I am intuitive. All right. So
even more important.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So what happened was some orthopedic friends of mine, I was given my option, and chronic pain was setting in where I was having bouts of having a hard time getting out of bed.
Wow.
Hard to conduct a business. And I was CEO of a company called Team Surgical, 100 people developing and selling implants for athletes.
Wait. So you have a really good company going right now, right? You got a good company. You got problems now with yourself.
Yes.
You got to look like you're the chief commander all the time, right? Good posture.
Yeah.
You got pain going on.
Right.
That company, it sounds like, was doing well, right?
It was an extremely profitable company.
Right. You still got that company?
As a shell.
As a shell, okay. I know what that means. There's a lot of opportunity there. So you got that going, and you decided, I'm going to figure a solution for myself personally.
Well, a couple of orthopedic friends, intelligent, intuitive guys as well, said, listen, there's a guy down the street, and he's putting in these jackets with rubber bands on them.
Right.
And, you know, there's no science behind it, but we're sending a couple of people down there, and they seem to like it. Maybe that's a good idea.
Okay.
So I would, at this point, I'd do anything. And keep in mind, I had access to every research facility there was.
Right, got
That's
anything
my
you want.
background.
Did you try it on?
I went down there. I tried it on. I was extremely skeptic. This is our customer of today, by the way. I was that customer back then. Extremely skeptic. I'm looking at my watch going, you got to be kidding me. I'm going to be putting on a jacket here with rubber bands.
It's got kind of that Hannibal Lecter look probably back then, right?
Yes, it did. He's sewing them in his garage. All right, and so I put it on, and I felt something. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I felt something happening with my muscles and my joints. And so I asked the guy, I said, okay, and now I'm listening. What's happening here? And he goes, oh, your muscles aren't balanced, therefore you have poor posture, and we need to stimulate those muscles so you can get back to balance.
Is this what your product does now?
Exactly.
It does. How much does that cost? I have one. It seems really well crafted. How much? It's about, what, $120, $150?
It goes from $100 to $300.
The reason why I'm saying this is because if I go in for surgery, that's thousands of dollars.
Right.
There's a lot of time that takes to recover from that. There's downtime. For something that's under $500, it sounds, and it works.
What's the cost of a change in lifestyle?
Yeah, it's a great deal.
Yeah.
And the product's available today?
Yeah, and you're only 40 today. In 10 years, you're 50. In 10 years, you're 60.
I'm already 50, so I'm already at that point. So if people want to find out more, what's the website?
It's AlignMed.com, and it's A like Apple, AlignMed, and it's ends in M-E-D, D like David.
.com.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do is when we come back, you brought, I like this, you brought models that are going to show us what it looks like. One of the models looks so good that he could actually wear a shade of green that just works.
Ken, I have to add that the garments are an interactive experience. They're really not clothing. There's something you put on that turns on your muscles.
So you feel different.
Oh, yeah, you feel it immediately.
Bill Schultz is joining us. Company is called?
AlignMed.
You brought two models in
to
show the product. Now, understand, each one of these models were wimpy little fat people until you put this thing on them, right?
Right. And to preface that, the better your posture, the higher you go in the corporation.
Really?
That's a fact.
So this is your CEO. The guy next to you right now.
No, you should see the CEO. Yeah. Now this is Owen McKibben.
Hey, Owen.
Yeah.
So Owen, so what do you got on up here, Owen? Is it comfortable? You got to get right in the microphone.
You know, it's very comfortable. I was a pro athlete for 10 years. I played on the Pro Beach Volleyball Tour. I had 4 knee surgeries, 2 major back surgeries, shoulder surgery. And, you know, I've trained celebrities, you know, executives, doctors. And my whole premise is posture.
Right.
Pull the shoulders back. So many people are rolled forward from driving, from sitting at a desk. And everything I've done intuitively, much like his success, pulling the shoulders back, the chest out.
You need all that. Get in the microphone, buddy. So,
Yeah.
Owen, you were playing beach volleyball with a
Broken spine.
Really? How do you do that?
I thought everybody just had a sore back.
Well,
you know what's funny? The way I found this company is I'd seen all this new technology. I'm like, God, it all seems the same. Nothing really seems real. So we had our first meeting, and I said, well, I need to try it. So we did a photo shoot before I ever had anything formally done with the company. And I've been a model all over the world, worked for Guess, Hugo Boss, Ralph Lauren. Standing on cement, I can run, I can jump. I'm fine when I'm moving, but when I'm standing still, that's where everything just feels like it's literally crumbling.
And this fixes you.
I wore every garment that we make for 6 hours, and I stood with no shoes on a concrete floor. I felt better for the first time in my life.
What do you got on?
After the shoot than I did before.
What is this?
This is our signature shirt.
How much is that?
$95.
That's $95. And
now, to be prefaced it too, he called it a shirt. It's an interactive experience. Every panel,
you said that.
every seam, every panel, every seam is engineered.
You realize if I go to like the IMAX, that's an interactive experience, right? Especially the 5D one where the chairs move, or 4D. That's interactive.
Unless it stimulates your muscles, it's not interactive.
But your definition is a little different than what everyone else is thinking.
Correct.
Okay, that's your definition. Interactive meaning it follows the flow of your body and enhances the areas that need it. That's what you mean.
No, you're great.
Right?
Yeah.
And that works for you right now. You love what you have on.
Immediately when you put it on, you will feel your shoulders be pulled back and down. It moves your head back. It literally puts your shoulders in the perfect position.
Now, next to you, you have somebody that's got, it almost looks like, don't take it wrong, like a bulletproof bra is what it looks like you have on. What do you have? Come on over here. What is your name?
My name is Elena.
Hi, Elena. What do you have on?
It's a posture bra.
What's that mean?
It's truly a posture bra. What we're doing to support her front, we're doing it from the back. We're causing her shoulder blades, first her shoulders to come back, and the shoulder blades to go into a position where it lifts the breasts and the rib cage up.
Okay. Is it comfortable? It really is? Oh, maybe I should try one of those on, too. I'll try both shirts on. No. But how much is something like that?
That's $85.
So it's not. So when you said it was $400, $300, what's $300?
$300 is when you can grab these garments and they have customizability.
Okay.
Now, it's also key. You can go to your doctor. He can write a prescription for them.
So doctors prescribe this, too?
Over 1,400 right now.
Guys, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You guys it looks amazing. It really does. I want mine to fit me now.
Nothing's better than posture. Posture's at the top of the thing.
How is this as a business for you now? I mean, you got $1,400 prescribing this. This sounds like it's a great business.
We've grown over 300% in the last 4 months.
What's the hardest part of your business?
Getting people to try it on.
Just the idea. Yeah, if you look like that, everyone's going to try it on.
Well, it's hard. You have to feel it to experience it. It's hard to point at the garment and talk about what it does, but when you put it on, you get it.
Okay, it looks great. But how about people that are not in shape like the two you have here? I mean, these are amazing shape.
People in shape need it better. People who are not in shape or people who have poor diets do so behaviorally. And it's hard to change somebody's behavior. As scientists, this is the biggest thing we found about this product. It reminds you to be careful of your posture and your form.
So right now you're selling your product to whom?
Well, we started selling to physical therapists and physicians.
So it's a B2B play. It's business to business. You're selling it to them, and then
Now the consumers have found it. And that's driving
Does
the
that
sales.
open up a lot of opportunity for you?
Massive.
So why aren't you going on like QVC or HSN or something like that?
These are our next stops.
That would make sense, right?
Ken, we had to identify this industry. We identified it as functional apparel.
Okay.
Now that we've identified it, we're going to tell the consumer what it is.
Bill Schultz is joining us. He's the CEO and founder of
AlignMed, and everything's 100% money back guaranteed. Everything is FDA'd. Right. There's no such thing as a garment that's FDA approved other than ours.
Oh, that's interesting. Because generally when you go through an FDA approval, it takes a long time. It's very expensive.
It takes years and a lot of money.
Yeah.
But we went that direction.
So that there just secures yourself as saying, hey, this is the only garments like this.
We wanted to validate science, and we wanted to be unique.
So this is your business?
Yes, sir.
Are you in your sweet spot right now? Do you love what you do?
I don't go to work. I go to have fun.
Yeah, because you get to work with people making them feel good all the time too, right?
That's humanitarian's wonderful.
Yeah. And being on the left coast, being in California, is this the right place for your business? Because hey, you're in Orange County, but being a California-based business, does this enhance what you're doing, or can you do your business from anywhere?
I've never thought of that. All I think of at the top of the triangle is that everybody has a posture. I don't care what country or city you're living in. Mm-hmm. And we want to be able to have you think about it and improve it. And
then marketing your product. You said the biggest hurdle is people trying it on. Because I got to admit, guys, it does look different. Right? Do you agree with me when you look at it, you go, it looks different. It's not a normal type of shirt.
Well, the technology is such where we can't have little spaghetti straps because our garment actually functions once you put it on. So the muscle mapping and the neuro bands need to be anchored to something. So you notice the bra is a little thicker here.
Yeah.
You're not going to have a small strap. That's by design. So I think there's a lot of things that look similar, but if you go into the details, there's nothing even close.
Is it uncomfortable?
No, not at all.
You're going to have bad tan lines. That's the only downside of that, bro.
You'll have thick tan lines.
She doesn't have to wear it during the tan line period.
Just curious. So as you are going through this process of marketing, and you're saying, the biggest hurdle right now is people trying it on. And if you're going to do something on QVC and HSN, which are great markets to go towards, right?
Yes.
You're going to have to do the same thing you're doing now. Models have to show off. They have to give their testimony. Are you going after celebrity endorsements too?
The Kansas City Royals heading to the World Series, This year ordered 70 of those.
Why don't you just give it to them?
We didn't have to.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And keep in mind, because we are FDA approved, an athlete with a garment contract can use it because it's classified as a medical device.
Yeah, I get it. But as you go through this process, especially if that's your biggest hurdle, you have to create environments where people try it on. So have you thought about actually creating I've seen this with shoes, by the way, where people are trying on shoes walking down, let's say, to Rodeo Drive, trying on, going, well, these are great. Taryn Rose is doing, you know Taryn Rose is?
Yes.
Taryn Rose is doing this with her new company, having them try the shoes on right there on the street. And she thinks it's going to help sell the product. Do you think people should just try this on in malls and places like that?
It's hard to get to try somebody on. We know that. But what we're working with is infrared scanners, where I can come up and I can scan you.
That's expensive, isn't it?
The software is expensive. And actually, it's not that expensive.
It's pretty it's innovative.
It's about a $20,000 camera.
Per each location.
Unless you travel.
Yeah, unless you travel. So you have
Yes.
a traveling. I like what you're doing. And your business is based in Orange County.
We predict this bra will fly off the
Do you
shelf.
have a catalog, or is it all online?
Right now, it's online. The catalogs are taking place.
So there will be some type of interactive catalog?
You got it.
No, they're
Yes.
not going to be interactive. That's
Yes,
gonna
we'll
really...
be able to scan you. We'll take your 3D avatar image, and then we'll email you the products with you in them.
Wow, that's crazy. That's cool.
Yes.
And are you still playing volleyball?
Occasionally.
Occasionally.
Yes.
Just it's all modeling is what you're doing.
That and I wrote a book for Men's Health magazine, and I've got a product on TV right now called The Rack, and I've got some more products coming out.
The Rack.
The Rack Workout.
There you go, therackworkout.com. And are you working on something too?
Yes, I'm president and founder of Allegro International. We write software applications, mobile and e-commerce.
Wow!
And it's the first application is coming actually parallelly with AlignMed. I created that app for AlignMed
That's
to begin
cool.
with.
So you have a hot, smart model.
You got,
awesome.
CEO models.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
There you go.
In the
I
room.
appreciate you guys spending time with us. Again, the website is?
AlignMed.com.
I'm Ken Rutkowski. You're listening to Business Rockstars.
This is Business Rockstars, where we introduce you to the rock stars of the business world.